What's going on, guys? So seeing how these EDC videos are pretty popular nowadays, they have been for quite a while. I figured I would do a Slingshot Edition. So this is what I carry on a daily basis, whether I'm going to work or I'm going to go for a hike or go camping or just explore metal detecting, yada, yada, yada. So this is Slingshot Edition. Let's get to it. First off, this is my satchel, my haversack. That's what I like to call them. You know, some people want to call it a man purse or whatever. I really don't give a shit. I call it a satchel because I'm an Indiana Jones fan. And, it's also a haversack. That's the outdoorsy, bushcrafty term. But you know what? Too old to really give a shit what people think of it. It is handy for me. It carries everything I want it to carry. And it's easy. So it is what it is. With that said, we'll get started. So first thing first, seeing how this is Slingshot Edition, we shall start with the slings. So lately, I have been carrying and having a lot of fun shooting my Hillbilly X. Everyone knows him. Hillbilly Slings and Wares. We gotta love him. Got it off of OmegaSlingsUSA.com, which everyone else always knows too. The other one that I've been carrying a lot lately, and this is another great slingshot. Sorry guys at Omega, but this is a Simple Shot Axiom, the new Axiom. It's a great slingshot. So the bands that I have on both of them, they're both the same. They're Omega Electric White 0.45, and the taper is 22 to 12, and set up for long draw, so it's not quite full butterfly. I think I cut them for 250 millimeters, so long draw. And they shoot great. I love them. I've been having so much fun with this. Check out my most recent short. So next on the list for slingshot related items is I always carry some extra bands. A little band tying tool. I carry, there's a little Allen key in there for clip frames. I have a few clip frames. So I have a couple of long draw. And I have a couple of bands in this little plastic tube for short draw if I wanted to do that. Band tying material for your wrap and tuck. I have a little pouch. This is my little ammo pouch that I always have with me. So this is forget where I got this from. It was an ad on Instagram or some shit like that, right? And I just bought it, but I modified it. I put a little webbed belt loop and a belt clip there, so I can wear it either way. And this is where I keep my shot. So, and I shoot 8mm steel. That's pretty much it for the slingshot related stuff. So the other things I always carry are always carry a flashlight. So this lives in my pocket most of the time because it's just so handy to have a flashlight in your pocket. I'm not too keen on a whole bunch of stuff in the pockets. That's why this one is so small. If anyone interested, this is the Rovi Vaughn Aurora A1. These are great lights. They're super bright. They got multi-functions, and they're super cheap. Like I think I paid like $26 or $27. The clip here, you can flip it any direction you want. It's got multiple positions, so you can have it like a regular pocket clip. I like to keep it this way because I wear ball caps, so now I could clip it onto the brim of my ball cap and I could have hands-free light. That's awesome. So as for little pocket knives I carry, this one is one of my mainstays. We'll get back to this in a little bit. This has a certain purpose. It's a utility, but it also has a certain purpose. And if you look closely, you can see that this blade is modified a little bit. It's a little straighter and a little thinner. And this one has been honed a little thinner as well. We'll get back to that in a second. We'll set that there. Another more recent pocket knife I've been carrying is this one by Rive. I can't remember the model number, but it's fairly new. And this is a nice little blade because it's a good, thick utility blade. So it's not a very big blade, as you can see, but it has a bottle opener on there. It's thick, so you can kind of pry stuff with it. It's made from D2 steel. It's great for cutting cordages, cutting boxes and stuff. I'm a diesel mechanic, so I quite often have to cut open boxes for parts and cut zip ties and anything else you can imagine. So we're going to set that right there as well. I always carry some sort of cordage. So today I happen to have paracord with me. I often have bank line. I prefer bank line, to be honest with you. I like paracord. I like paracord for setting up shelters, but when it comes for everything else, I prefer bank line because it's very rugged, very strong. It's got well over 100 pounds of tensile strength, and you can get a lot more cordage. So this is I don't know, I'd say 15 to 20 feet worth. Well, the same bundle of bank line would be roughly 50 to 75 feet worth. If anybody knows the difference between the two, you know what I'm talking about. But I always have something. Always have something. You never know when you need to lash something down, tie something down, need a piece of cordage for whatever. So, continuing with the EDC dump here, my next knife is a more recent purchase, but I always carry a fixed blade with me as well. And recently it's been this guy right here. So before it was a Mora Classic, and that's a great knife, but I recently bought this from BPS Knives, and it's a great little blade. It's a Puko design. It's about 3.5 inch blade, full Scandi grind, 1066 high carbon steel, 90-degree spine, so you can spark a ferro rod, high carbon steel, so you can use flint on it and it'll still throw a spark. I have this great little compass on it by, I think it's Sagewood gear or Sagewood or something like that, and that's great. I always have something like this on me. So going back to this blade right here, so this goes along with another one of my hobbies, which is wood carving. I whittle, so mainly basswood. So I make little figurines, like a little dude here. That's a flower, obviously, and a tree, obviously. I do other stuff as well. Like here's a little Easter Island head, but except he's got a mustache, so I changed him up a little bit. He's a cool guy. So this is my wood carving kit. I always carry it with me because, on my lunch break, sometimes it's nice to to do a little whittling. So I have all the necessities, carving glove, a carving knife, extra wood, sandpaper, pencil, ruler, the whole 9 yards. So this blade I modified to be good for wood carving. So this blade I can also use for whittling and wood carving. So that's why I did that. And obviously the firearms on the table, this changes for where I'm going. So when I'm just going to work, I'm a diesel mechanic. I work on school buses. And my shop is actually on school grounds, so I do not carry a concealed weapon while I am working, because that's just against the law and it's just dumb. So, but everywhere else I carry concealed, and it's one of these two, generally one of these two. I got a few other options. So when I'm in the woods, they are clear. When I'm in the woods, I generally carry the Taurus 605 357 Magnum. And I run Underwood Ammo Extreme Penetrators. So pretty hot stuff. The other one, it is also clear, is a Glock 48, 9mm. And I run, I think these are Hornady Critical Duty. So these are the firearms that I carry, and the knives, the slingshots, and everything else you could think. So I want to thank you for sticking around this long if you have. If you feel like it, go ahead and like and subscribe, although I really can give a shit less if you like what I do. I like what I do. Some people like what I do, and that's all that matters. So enjoy, guys. Have a good evening. This is my Slingshot edition of EDC. Subscribe.